The chapter we'll be doing is called as budgeting. Now, this chapter is again one of most important chapters for your exam. Definitely a question which comes for your 12 marks. Uh, Now, let's try understanding first concept called what's a budget. See, when I say a budget, we say budget is a plan. Budget is what? A plan. Now, is every plan a budget? The answer is no. To be a budget, right, we need to make sure that it's a plan which has to be for a definitive period of time. So, to be a budget, listen to it, it has to be a plan for a definite period of time, and the plan has to be expressed in numbers. So to be budget, there are three things. What are the three things? First, it has to be a expression of a plan for a definitive period of time, and this plan has to be what? A quantitative expression. So see the definition. A budget is defined as a quantitative expression of a plan for a definitive time period. Are you clear? The second part of it is, what is budgeting? When I say budgeting, right, budgeting is a quantitative expression of a plan is known as budget. The process of making budget is known as budgeting. So when I say budgeting, I am trying to make sure that I am coordinating with the entire organization to make a plan where I can achieve something in the future. Are you clear? Next one, before we go into few topics about budget, let's try understanding few things. Now, to make a budget, what are the things that are necessary? To make a budget, what are the things that is necessary? Guys, I want you guys to think from a company to make a budget. What all do you think are the primary requirements? What do you think are the primary requirements? The first thing I would want to know is, what is the organization structure? Fine. Second one is, what is the objective of this organization? What is the objective of this organization? Okay. Third one, when I'm trying to make a budget, I know the budgets are done for the future periods. Budgets are done for the future periods. So I need to make sure that, are there any events which I need to keep in mind when I'm preparing a budget? Are there any events that I need to keep in mind when I'm making a budget? When I'm trying to make a budget, right, I have to make a budget by trying to keep the entire organization into picture. There are few things that you need to understand when I'm saying that the entire organization has to be kept in mind. One, you will do a budget for the entire organization. This is known as master budget. That is, what is that the object, what is that the organization should achieve. From here, I make smaller budgets known as functional budgets. I make smaller budgets known as what? Functional budgets, where I can give a task to every department to say, boss, these are the things that has to be done. Are you clear? So pretty similar things, nothing much to worry about. uh, that is things that you keep in mind when you're making a plan. Now we know a budget. See here, a budget we know is a plan for the future period. Budget is a plan for what? Future period, right? Now this future period ka budget, I will have to write it as a written document. Are you clear? Are you guys clear? Now a budget will help for basically a planning and coordinating all the functions in the office or the organization, because everyone knows that this is where we are trying to achieve. And budgeting is one of the mechanisms of control. Budgeting is one of our mechanisms of control. Are you clear? So when I say planning, coordinating and controlling, what am I speaking about? Okay, when I say planning, now a planning is basically trying to establish a target what the organization has to achieve. It is what? Establishing a target what the organization has to achieve. Now when I'm trying to achieve a target, I try keeping the overall objectives of an organization and then set up those targets. Now, as much as possible, when I'm trying to make a plan, I need to make sure that they are quantified and I assign responsibilities to people who are making the budgets. Now, once planning is done, I know what has to be achieved. Now I have to make sure that I direct different functional people towards the plan that I'm doing in. Now this is known as coordination, where I'm trying to bring all the responsibility centers headed by the manager to make sure that they're all directing towards the particular plan. The last one is called as controlling. What is controlling is, controlling is checking your plan versus your actual. Controlling your plan versus the actual, we call it as controlling. Are you clear? Now, while preparing the budget, there are few things that we need to understand, and I'm trying to understand the terminologies with it. Uh, when I'm trying to make a budget, first thing is the first thing what I require is the okay. Second one is the key factor, or we say is the budget factor. Now, what is this key factor or a budget factor? Now, in a layman term, if I have to understand a budget factor or a key factor, let's say for an example, to manufacture 1 kg of bread, let's say you require 20 kgs of wheat and let's say 80. Okay, let's do the other way around. To manufacture 1 kg of bread, let's say you require 200 grams of wheat and 800 grams of maida. Now, the company has 6,000 grams of wheat and let's say 16,000 grams of maida. Now, if I check both the things, which of the thing do you think is a limiting factor? If I just check both the things, what do you think is a limiting factor? Which, okay, Shreyas says sweet, others. Now, I don't know what is limiting factor. What are you trying to say? What is the key budgeting factor is the question which I would get. Now, let me try understanding what is this limiting factor in a very simpler term. It's not required for your intermediate, so I am trying to just give you an overview of it. Now, with what Shreyas is trying to say, I'll try understanding it. If you have 6,000 grams of wheat and to produce 1 kg of bread, if you require 200 grams of wheat, just keeping wheat into consideration, how many kgs of bread can you produce? Guys, did you understand the question? 1 kg of bread requires 200 grams of wheat. With 600 grams of wheat, how many kgs of bread can you produce? Same thing if I ask here, what's going to be your answer? How many kgs? Okay. Given a choice, will you guys produce 20 kgs or 30 kgs? Let's say there is an unlimited demand. Given a choice, will you produce 20 kgs or 30? Now, why aren't you producing 30 kgs? Why aren't you producing 30 kgs is the question. Because there is a shortage of maida. Correct, Shreyas. So, see, in every case, I want to meet my demand. In every case, I want to meet my demand. Okay. I want to meet my demand in every case, and I would have preferred to have 30 kgs of wheat and maida to be available. 30 kgs of bread of wheat and maida to be available. But in this particular scenario, what is happening is I am not able to meet the 30 kgs because wheat is available and maida is a shortage. So this my entire budget will be revolving under maida because this is having shortage in supply. This factor which will control my budget is known as limiting factor. Did you understand? Clear? So this factor we call it as the key factor because that's the one which is stopping me. The next one is called as budget manual. Next one is called as budget manual. So now what is budget manual? See, for somebody trying to make a budget, he needs the entire information about the organization, all the key information which are required for the planning process. Now, who are the people who are responsible for it? Who are the organization in the organizations? What are the key assumptions that we need to keep in mind when we are trying to make a budget? There is something called as an account code which gives the explanation of different businesses. So all of this has to be mentioned in a budget manual. So when I say budget manual, please remember budget manual is a collection of document that will contain all the key information for those who are involved in the planning process. Are you clear with this? Now in one of the exams they've asked you about the information about budget manual. Sorry, it's not there in the PPT. You just have tried it. What's there in the book? Guys, just please don't make a point of this. Budget manual has come once in the exam, so just and it's come for 4 marks, so just read it from your study text. The next one is the budget period. Now what is budget period? Budget period is basically the time frame for which budget is prepared. The time frame for which the budget is prepared is known as the budget period. Are you clear? Now there are different kinds of budgets what we make. The first budget is known as the fixed budget. Now what is this fixed budget? I will explain it to you in a very simpler manner. Let's say I wanted to produce 1000 units in a year. How many units in a year? 1000 units in a year. My variable cost was 7000. Fixed cost was 3000. Okay, this was my cost for 10,000 rupees, was the cost of 1000 units. Are you clear? This is what I budgeted. But in reality, that is in actuals, I produced only 7000 units. Sorry, 700 units. And my variable cost was 5000. My fixed cost was 2500 and I spent 7500. Now what is fixed budget? Now see, don't you think the cost of 1000 units and the cost of 700 units should be different, or should it be the same? Different. Now do you think if I compare the cost of 1000 units to 700 units and say, you know what, this company has saved, see here, the company wanted to spend 7000 rupees and they've spent only 5000, they have saved 2000. Fixed cost, they wanted to spend 3000, they have spent only 2500. This company has saved 500. Together they have saved 2500. They have done a good job. Is this analysis right? Did you understand what I said? Is this analysis right? Why? No. It's the question. Boss, we all understand the cost of making 700 units is going to be a lot more different. And I cannot compare the cost of 1000 units to 700 units. Obviously, I would be saving money. Yes or no? Now, what is a fixed budget? When I say a fixed budget, what happens is I make a budget and I don't change it irrespective of the activity level. Whatever my activity level is, I keep the budgets as it is. Whatever my activity level is, I keep the budgets as it is and I compare it with my actuals, and this kind of budget is known as fixed budget. Are you clear? Now comes the next concept. Guys, I'm trying to explain it in a very layman term. Understand this. The next budget, what we'll be doing, is known as flexible budget. Now what is this flexible budget all about? When I say a flexible budget, right, what is happening is my original budget what I made for 1000 units, I change it to the 700 units. The original budget what I made for 1000 units, I change it to what? 700 units. When I'm changing it to 700 units, I try applying the concept of my cost. What is a fixed cost and what's a variable cost? A fixed cost is a cost which does not change irrespective of the activity level. Yes or no? And a variable cost is a cost which is going to be constant per unit irrespective of the activity level. Yes or no? And the third category is the semi-variable cost. That is a cost which is going to be having a nature of both fixed and variable. Do you remember chapter 2? No, chapter 1. Do you guys remember this? Now, when I'm trying to compare or make my fixed budget into a flexible budget, so I'll be applying this rule. That is, see, when I'm trying to make my budget for 700 units, can I say that fixed cost will be 3000 only and my variable cost will be 4900? Yes or no? If you ask me how did I get 4900, boss, 7000 rupees is for 1000 units. That means it is 7 per unit. If it is 7 per unit for 700 units, it will be 4900. Are you clear? Guys, did you understand? So this kind of a budget, we call it as a flexible budget, where I change my original budget to the actual number of units that I have prepared, or I make budgets for different activity levels. Guys, are you clear? Now I want you guys to read this question. Now, what does the question say? The factory is expecting to operate 7000 hours at 70% activity level. They have given me details about variable blah blah blah. The semi variable expenses are supposed to go up by 80-95% by 20%. Prepare a flexible budget for 80, 90 and 100%. Now what we will do, they want me to make a budget for what? 80, 90 and 100%. So I'll try keeping 70%, 80%, 90% and 100%. What is my budgeted hours? For 70%. Guys, what is the budgeted hours in the question? Is my, so 70% if it's for 7000 hours, for 80% can I say it will be 8000, this will be 9000 and this will be 10,000. Yes or no? Then now I'll take my first cost, which is the most easiest, which is my fixed expense. How much is going to be fixed expense for all the levels? Can I say 1800? Why? Because fixed cost is the cost which does not change. So I'll write then I'll take the variable expense. What's the nature of the variable expense? It's going to be constant per unit. That means for 7000 hours, if it is 1260, for 8000 hours, how much will that be? One 1440. Guys, cross multiplication, that is 7000 1800 into 1260 divided by 7000. I get 1440. Then for 9000 hours, how much will that be? 1620. Again do the cross. For 10,000 hours, yes or no, friends? Done. So I'll write the variable expense as first one 1260, 1440, 1620, 1800. Done. Now comes the last one. Guys, the biggest drama always in a flexible budget is this. So let's try understanding. Semi-variable expenses go up between 85 to 95%. That means for 70% it will be 1200. For 80% also it will be 1200. Why? Because they did not say it is gonna go up. It will go up between 85 to 95. That means here it will become 1320. Did you understand or should I repeat this? Okay. Now if 1200, now for 100% it is saying it is gonna go up by 20%. That means it's gonna be what? 20% of 1200, which will be 1440. Are you clear? So if I do the total 4260, 4440, 4740. Did you all understand the basics of how a flexible budget works?